70,000 years ago, at least 6 human species existed. Neanderthals were stronger than us, with larger brains. They survived in Europe 300,000 years. But today, anywhere you go, only one human species remains. This was a war of extinction. The victors were our ancestors, Sapiens. How did we win? The answer lies in the book Sapiens. Author Yuval Noah Harari calls it fictional reality. These 4 words explain how humans, once trembling prey, wiped out all competitors within tens of thousands of years and climbed to the top of the food chain. What's more unsettling? Harari ends the book with a question. When we can rewrite the code of life, how long can humanity survive? Watch what follows. Rethink the history of civilization and see the fictional nature of wealth, power, and class. Humans weren't always Earth's rulers. For a very long time, our ancestors couldn't grab a bone. 2.5 million years ago, earliest humans appeared in Africa. Sapiens were smaller than chimpanzees, slower than antelopes, weaker than lions. Their only asset was a slightly bigger brain. But that brain was expensive. It was only 2 to 3% of body weight, yet consumed 25% of energy. What does that mean? Our ancestors had to spend more time foraging, while reducing other organ growth. The direct cost was muscle degeneration. Go to a zoo, watch a chimpanzee. It can toss an adult lion ragdoll with one arm. Our ancestors traded strength for brains. The price was brutal. For 2 million years, humans were marginal in the ecosystem. Archaeologists studying ancient traces found a painful detail. Next to early human fossils, lay bones gnawed by other carnivores. What does this tell us? Our ancestors weren't hunters. They waited for lions to finish and hyenas to leave, then snuck in, cracked bones with stones, and sucked out the marrow. Marrow was scraps other predators couldn't reach. Humanity's original place in the chain. Not hunters, but scavengers. So here's the question. A species surviving on scraps. How did it, in just tens of thousands of years, reach the top of the food chain and bury every other human species? The answer lies in a genetic mutation 70,000 years ago. Harari calls it cognitive revolution. No one knows the exact cause. Maybe a random genetic mutation. Maybe a 6-rut altered brain structure. Either way, 70,000 years ago, Sapiens' brains suddenly awakened. We learned a new ability, storytelling. You might say, what's so special about stories? Monkeys communicate too. Bees see information. The key difference is, Sapiens tell stories of non-existent things. A monkey can warn its peers, careful, there's a lion. But only Sapiens could say, the lion is our tribe's guardian. If we dance under the full moon, the lion god will protect us. Is that true? Of course not. But here's the magic. When 100 people believe it, they can cooperate around that fiction. A group believing in the lion god could defeat groups fighting for food. That's humanity's superpower, binding strangers through fiction. Think about it. 2 chimpanzees cooperating must know and trust each other. Their social group maxes out around 150. More than that, chaos. But sapiens are different. 2 sapiens who've never met. As long as they believe in the same god, a flag, or currency, trust is instantly established. People die for one religion. 1 million can pay taxes for one nation. Billions accept the same paper money. These SE1 trait. None exist in the physical world. Nations and companies are fictional. Human rights are fictional. Money is fictional too. But it's these fictions that let sapiens cooperate on a scale no species can imagine. Neanderthals had bigger brains and stronger bodies. Tribes maxed out at a few dozen. When 100 sapiens showed up with spears, numbers were an advantage. Cognitive revolution didn't add strength, it made humans better at deception. Harari says, every leap in human history wasn't driven by truth, but by a more effective lie. But the next question cuts deeper. Since we're good at cooperating, since we became Earth's masters, why aren't humans happier? Harari delivers a shocking answer. Agriculture was history's biggest con. That sounds harsh, but think. 10,000 years ago, we domesticated crops. Textbooks tell you this started civilization, a sign of progress. But Harari asks, did humans domesticate wheat, or did wheat domesticate humans? Look, hunter-gatherers. worked 3 to 4 hours a day, with diverse, balanced diets. They studied animals and tracked prey, knew habits of hundreds of plants. And farmers? They worked 10+ hours a day, eating only 1 or 2 crops, with a narrow diet. Spinal disease became an epidemic. Archaeological evidence shows early farmers were 10 centimeters shorter than their hunter ancestors and lived shorter lives. So why did humans farm? The answer is cruel. Once you start, you can't stop. Hunter-gatherer groups were small. Each needed vast territory to forage. But farming let the same land feed 10 times more people. The problem: population growth ate all the surplus. So you had to clear more land, grow more wheat, raise more kids, and the cycle continued. It was a trap with no exit. After a few generations, no one remembered foraging freedom. Everyone was tied to the land, planting, fertilizing, harvesting. Harari uses a sharp metaphor. Humans thought they tamed wheat, but wheat domesticated humans. 10,000 years ago, wheat was just an unremarkable weed in the Middle East. Today, it covers 2.25 million square kilometers, one of the most successful plants on Earth. From wheat's perspective, it used human greed to expand its genes globally. Does that sound familiar? Are you stuck in a trap today? You think you own a house, but the mortgage owns you. You think you chose a job, but the job has bound you. You think you tamed your phone, but your phone tamed you. The logic of the agricultural revolution never disappeared, it just changed its clothes. So here's another question. If humans are so easily trapped, what keeps civilization running? The answer: history's successful fictions, money and empire. First, money. The paper in your hand is just paper. It can't be eaten or worn. You trade your labor for it, only because others accept it too. Money is humanity's greatest trust mechanism. In international trade, strangers from different cultures face a shared payment system. The deal is done instantly. Harari points out, money is more universal than language, more practical than religion. Today, everyone believes in money. It's the only true global consensus in history. But money itself is neutral. It needs a bigger container. That container is empire. What is an empire? It unifies rules through force, then absorbs cultural differences. The Qin dynasty conquered states, forcing unified script and roads, turning chaos into lasting unity. Rome conquered the Mediterranean, then told everyone, "You are all Romans now." Spain conquered the Americas, made natives believe in Catholicism and speak Spanish. Britain conquered a quarter of the globe, used English, law, and free trade to mold the world into one. Empires sound brutal, and they were. Harari reveals a counterintuitive fact. Empires were history's melting pots. Tomatoes come from the Americas. Your tea comes from China. Cotton comes from India. Numerals come from the Middle East. These spread globally because empires broke borders and forced standards. What's more interesting, empire subjects often came to embrace imperial values. Gauls conquered by Rome, generations later defended Rome's glory more than Romans. This logic still works today. Today's global system doesn't need troops at your door. It needs you to believe its rules and depend on its networks. Money and power are one coin. What should alarm us most isn't the history of money. It's the question Harari raises in the book's second half. When algorithms know you better than you know yourself, are you still a player? Or just a pawn being played? This is the most unsettling part. Harari says, humans aren't sacred souls. We're just biochemical algorithms. You think you have free will, but you're just reacting to stimuli. You lop sweets because in ancient times, sugar meant energy. The brain evolved, sugar equals pleasure. You fear loneliness because an individual cast out from the group wouldn't survive 3 days on the plains. You crave status because high status meant more mating chances. That rule is in your genes. You think you're choosing, but it's code written millions of years ago doing the choosing. That's the core problem. If humans are just algorithms, will more efficient algorithms replace us? You open a shopping EP. The algorithm knows what you want better than you do. You scroll short videos. The algorithm knows what spikes your dopamine better than you. You drive with navigation. The algorithm decides your route. Harari says, we're handing more and more decisions to algorithms. Because they're more accurate, efficient, and objective. But here's the question: when algorithms make our decisions, what's left of us? In 500 BC, humans asked, "What is God?" In 1500 AD, humans asked, "What is nature?" Now, algorithms are forcing us to answer one final question: what is a human? Harari doesn't give an answer, but he plants a seed. In the coming decades, humans may gain the power to redesign themselves. Gene editing, AI, human-machine fusion, our species may be at its final crossroads. After finishing Sapiens, I stayed silent for a long time. Harari's sharpest move isn't revealing historical truths. It's making you realize the things you've always believed. Nations, companies, money, human rights, freedom. None of them are real. They're all fictions. But it's these fictions that let 7 billion strangers cooperate in one game. Fiction isn't deception. Fiction is civilization's base. Yet the real question is, who defines the next era's fictions? In the past, prophets, kings, and capitalists set the rules. What about the future? When algorithms predict decisions, gene editing reshapes bodies, and brain-computer interfaces can rewrite your memories, will the concept of a human even exist anymore? This isn't sci-fi. It's the theme of Harari's next book. It's called Homo Deus. If Sapiens showed you where we came from, Homo Deus forces a deadlier question. Where are we heading? And how long will we exist? That's all for today's 6DO. See you next time.